All right, thank you, Rich. Our presenter today, everyone, is Sheila Guston. Sheila has more than 50 years of experience guiding nonprofit associations. She's worked with many professional organizations, philanthropic, and trade associations, and has held roles including regional, national, and international director. Sheila founded Total Management Solutions in 2000. TMS currently has 5 client associations with a full-time staff of 3 and 3 additional part-time staff, and they're headquartered in Glen Rock, New Jersey, which is right outside New York City. TMS received its accreditation in 2007 and has been reaccredited in 2012 and again in 2017. Sheila's personal specialties include long-range planning, board training, and governance. So with that, Sheila, welcome, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate that. And hello, everybody, whoever you are or wherever you are. Our topic today is the successes that you can expect from an AMC model. I'd like to talk first about how you go about selecting an AMC, because I feel that partnering with an AMC is very much the same as almost hiring an employee. And what you would look for in an employee, you would also look for in an AMC. First of all, you're going to deal with the kind of experience that that person has or that AMC has. And that would include developing a scope of work that you want the AMC to do, i.e. a job description. So you can think in terms of full service AMC that would manage all of the administrative work that your organization requires, or you can think in terms of partial work, and you would write that up in a scope of services that you would put out as an RFP. The second thing that you want to think about is professionalism and value, and also the fact that you are looking for a team player, someone that can partner with you. Back to experience, you would think in terms of people who are, or an AMC that is knowledgeable in how an organization functions, who can be a good collaborator with you, someone who is interested in the services that you provide as an organization and can help you see the results for your efforts. Someone who may have worked with organizations like yours or similar to yours or in the same field as yours, so that they are familiar with your membership and your goals. And as I said before, do you want to have full service or do you want project management? Now, project management could be you would just want to hire somebody to do your finances, and they would handle all of your accounts receivable and your accounts payable and collect your dues and update your membership database and so forth. And that would be all they would do. Or you may want someone who just does your conference, and they could do your site selection, and they could handle all of the details of your conference, and that would be all they would do. But if you wanted somebody who was full service management, that would cover everything from your finances to your conference to your membership to being your headquarters office, answering your telephones, you're dealing with your mail, dealing with all your programming, attending your board meetings, taking minutes. The scope of services can go on, and it depends on what you want and how you are going to outline that for the AMC, and that's your scope of services. As far as the AMC's professionalism is concerned, we want somebody that would be committed to the association field, someone that's experienced, and someone, frankly, who is accredited. And you will note from the bottom of the slides that I'm showing you that Total Management Solutions is an accredited management company. Now, accreditation is provided to us by our professional organization called the AMC Institute, and they have us go through a rigorous audit by an auditor, and they look at everything from our client contracts to make sure that we are writing them appropriately and doing the um, services that are required of us. They ask us to show them how we evaluate, how our clients evaluate us and how we evaluate our clients. They ask us for financial management and internal controls so that they are sure that we are handling each client's finances separately and carefully and according to um, general accounting practices. They ask us for insurance coverage. They ask us for how we recruit our employees and how we select them. They ask us about how we subcontract and purchase our materials. They ask us how we record keep. They do an internal audit of everything that we do. They come into our offices and literally sit down as if they were doing an IRS audit, but they're doing a procedural audit so that we meet the highest standards that can possibly be met for an accredited association management company. The value that you will find when you hire a management company falls into two uh, sections. One is the economy of scale. Because you're hiring a management company, you have shared services and specialized personnel. So shared services would mean that you don't have to go out and buy a copy machine or a computer or a printer or anything like that. You don't have to pay overhead for rent. You don't have to buy paper or anything that goes into the office. That's all provided within the management fee. So, what I do for one client, I can also do for another client more economically than an organization could do on their own. That's also a shared buying power and specialized personnel. Most management companies will have people who are experienced in meeting planners, particularly, who are familiar with conferences, with various venues, with how to plan a conference, how to manage a conference, with what needs to be done on site at a conference, and can take all of those burdens off of the volunteers. Frankly, a management company will enable the volunteers to be able to think more strategically rather than doing the nitty gritty work that needs to be done to run an organization. On economies of scope, management companies will share with their clients lessons that they have learned and creative ideas that they have learned from some of their other clients. Uh, it can be anything from a good idea for membership recruitment to a big campaign or some themes or uh, a place to go for an event or anything that we have learned from one of our clients that works. We have no problem sharing with all of our clients if it fits their needs. So it gives you the experience of having some knowledgeable people who will work with you and share with you, and there's really no need to reinvent the wheel. Um, as far as someone who is a team player, anyone who is assigned as your account executive would be someone who would be versed your um, in the field in which you are in and be able to evaluate and plan with you, assist you in doing membership surveys, to talk to you about the trends that nonprofit organizations are facing, that someone who will know about new opportunities in the nonprofit field, someone who's well versed in communication in nonprofits. That communications being everything from print to online communications to social media. We also have extensive knowledge in social media, and we have standards that we have set up for various organizations. And I would have no, most accredited management companies have no problem with sharing those standards with other clients. So lessons learned equals a success for our our clients and the organizations who hire us. Um, I think that about covers what I wanted to do. I can go into depth of anything that I already mentioned. This is the second of a four-part series. The next one will be on November 12th, and that'll go into greater depth on how to successfully partner with an AMC. And the last one on the 15th will go into greater depth on the AMC accreditation process. But if anyone has any questions for me now, I'd be very happy to answer them.
Okay, we've got a few questions here. So one is in regards to scope of services. What goes into the scope of services, and how does an organization decide that?
Well, I think an organization needs to think about two things. About one, what kinds of tasks do they want an association management company to perform for them? And two, how is that going to fit into their budget? And they have to be very honest with the management company as far as their budget is concerned and as far as their scope of services is concerned. For instance, if they want a full service management, they have to talk to the management company about how much money they are willing to set aside in their budget for that task. If it turns out that they can't afford what the management company is going to ask, then they may cut back on their scope of services. But what will happen is if they go into a contract with a management company and then we call it scope creep, they start asking the management company to do things that are outside of the scope of services for which they have contracted, then the management company is going to come back and say, we're going to have to amend this contract, or we're going to have to charge you extra or something. So it's best in the beginning to be very open and honest about what you can afford and what you would like to have accomplished.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so here's one about the AMC Institute and about how widely accepted it is. I understand the accreditation process. Can you tell me a little bit more about how widely acknowledged it is?
That's a good question. The AMC Institute is comprised of approximately, I want to say, somewhere between 400 and 500 management companies around the world. There are members in Canada, there are members in Europe, there are members in, I know Japan, and I think China has a member as well, and also Australia. Of those, only about 90 are accredited. There may be some new ones that I don't know about, so it may be as high as 100. But it's a rigorous process to go through, so not too many management companies have been willing to do it.
So if you do,
does that answer the question? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. So if somebody does it, then it means they're very serious, I guess, and willing to go through.
Well, it means that they are very dedicated to their profession and to maintaining the highest standards of practice.
Okay, let's see. Got another one here. Just a moment. Can you give me some examples of shared experiences?
Okay, I'll take this as a very personal thing. I was working with a group of dentists, and I created a membership acquisition campaign for them. And it happened to be a telephone campaign. And I outlined the script, and I created all the booklets to send out to everybody, and so forth. Well, they had such success with it that I turned around to another client of mine and shared that with them, and they used it. And that's the kind of thing that management companies are very willing to do. Once they have a successful model, it's easy to share with some of your other clients.
Perfect. Okay. This is in regards to staffing. Does your organization provide the executive directors, or do you work with organizations that already have one? And how does that work when there's, I guess, leadership in place versus you?
There are, yeah, sure. There are management companies that do both. I frankly have not had the personal experience of working with an executive director who has already been in place, but there are management companies that do that. All of my clients have come to me either as their first experience with having any staff at all, or having a staff person who is retiring and they're looking for a different management model. But there are management companies that do work with outside executive directors, and that's going to require a discussion as to who's responsible for whom and to whom. Whether you want the management company to oversee the outside executive director, whether you want that executive director to become a member of the management company's staff, or whether you want that person to be just a partner in how the organization is handled, and the management company does all the administrative work, and the outside executive director serves in the executive director role. I work with the organizations where our staff person becomes their executive director.
Got it. Okay. Well, that wraps up the questions I've got here. I guess you can close it up, Kevin. Maybe if you've got any questions, or we can just wrap up the session.
I do not. This was great. I want to thank all of you for joining us today. We appreciate you taking time out of your day to do so. I also especially want to thank Sheila Guston from Total Management Solutions in Glen Rock, New Jersey. A copy of this webinar will be uploaded shortly to our YouTube page, and we will distribute that to all of you, and obviously also a copy to you as well, Sheila. And thank you again for your time today, Sheila, and the great presentation, and for handling the Q&A at the end. We appreciate it all.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I've just put up a slide as to how anybody can contact me if you so desire, or if you have a question later on and that you forgot about, by all means, feel free to email me or call me even if you'd like.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.
Have a great day, everybody. Bye.